he had a little joint in his hand. And he walks up to me super casually as like I'm on the beach with blood and stuff, and he offers me the joint and he just goes, medicinal marijuana?
Welcome to the Wild Dispatch!
Hello and welcome to the Wild Dispatch. I'm Robin and I'm back with more skills and stories from the wild. We have an exceptionally wild story for you today. I'm excited to share this one. I've had it in my pocket for a little while, but first of all, I want to give a quick apology. I have been having far too much fun. This is a very English apology, I guess. Running around the woods, having all kinds of amazing experiences, fishing, hunting, foraging, with great success. It is absolute prime time right now, and I think for my own mental health, it has been really healthy this year. Rather than stressing about trying to hit deadlines all the time and get episodes out, I have been committed to making sure that I am chasing the adventures that I really enjoy, that kind of sum up who I am. So, unfortunately, that comes with a few consequences, which means that episodes are a little less frequent and maybe not always the exact day that they're supposed to be, but I've made peace with that. Today, we have an amazing guest, James Eastman. Many of you will know that name who are from around this area. Will know him as a dedicated teacher. Also, perhaps some of you will know his restless underlayer that drives him to get out there and do interesting stuff. That might be backpacking or fly fishing or punching a great white shark in the face. Yes, James Eastman is a survivor of a shark attack. He is a lifelong surfer and he has spent many days on the ocean. So, statistically, I guess you would say he's maybe more likely than others to get bitten, but we're going to talk about that and the fact that he maybe even knew that this was going to happen before it did. We talk about a bunch of stuff in this episode, but something I want to bring up front is a project that has come about from this attack. James's wife, Chloe, is an emergency room nurse, and she, from this experience, has been motivated to create a new project. It's called the Minutes Matter Project. It's an amazing thing that is now gaining a lot of momentum. Basically, their idea is to provide emergency equipment at beaches where there are often surfers so that people who might be in a similar situation can quickly get the very important things that they need to save lives, like tourniquets and that kind of stuff, because ultimately if you get bitten by a shark and you are bleeding out and you are on a beach with no signal and no one around, then you're going to be in trouble. So this is a great idea. I'm going to put some links down in the show notes. They have a website, minutesmatterproject.org, and also you should follow them on Instagram so that you can get updates on how that's progressing. I believe that is Minutes Matter Project, or at Minutes Matter Project on Instagram too. Right, here's my fantastic conversation with James. Okay, and that's working. I'm trying to remember to keep an eye on that flashy light. James, welcome to the podcast, dude.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Yeah, we just jump straight in. I mean, you've heard me waffling enough for the last 45 minutes.
It's a pleasure to watch.
It's a performance piece.
Yeah.
We were just talking, well, we've been talking about a bunch of stuff, but I was curious to hear about your mountain lion, your pet mountain lion that you have here. You got a camera, so what's going on?
Well, yeah, so we first saw it in November on the cam, and we hadn't put the cam back up after that. We're really bad at recharging the batteries and getting it back out there, but yeah, we got one little video of it just walking down the path. And then the last week, on our back fence line, I noticed just I saw a poop, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
ooh, that doesn't look like a bear. That doesn't look like a raccoon or a fox or anything. And so in my head, I thought it was a mountain lion, took a picture and went on the AI. And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and yeah, I was like, poke it with a stick and see if there's deer hair in there and
Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
like fatty and stuff like that. So I went out there.
So it was fresh then. It was like wet.
Yeah, yeah. And then so I noticed that poop, and then like a couple feet away, I noticed that there was like another poop that was significantly drier. And then I went the other direction, and I noticed one that was like extremely fresh, like probably the night before.
Okay, okay.
So it's been, I don't know what it's been doing on that back fence line, but it's just been hanging out and pooping back there.
It's his bathroom now.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, I put the trail cam back up, but I didn't make sure that it was actually working, so
Yeah. Well,
it
we'll
wasn't showing anything. I didn't get any recordings, but I got to get it back out there and see if it's hanging out there on a nightly basis.
Yeah, I'm surprised that because it's like, I mean, I don't know a lot about mountain lions. Should probably interview someone about them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a huge range apparently.
Yeah.
So they can only be like, it can often just be like a fleeting moment that they're in an area.
Right, I know. I thought it was really weird, but it was definitely like multiple days of poops.
Yeah, that is weird.
And something, so I know eventually we'll talk about the shark attack, but the fishing games guy came over here afterwards, and he was telling us that mountain lions really don't like house cats. And
Do you have one?
Well, we don't, but we have these two, for the last month or two, we've had these two neighborhood cats in our yard, which kind of drives me crazy because I love the birds and I don't want them to get the birds,
Yeah, yeah.
But they've been here pretty much on a daily basis, and now they're gone. Like
Maybe gone.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to them, but we were away, which is when I think the mountain lion was coming through, and ever since we've been back, we have not seen the house cats. So I think I don't know. The fishing games guy said they see it as like a territorial threat.
Yes.
And so they'll come
just
and just
kill
try to like
cats.
eliminate the threat.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe that's what was going down. I don't
Yeah,
really
it would
know.
make sense.
Yeah.
You probably should check the poops over there a little bit closer. You might
Yeah,
see
I
some
know.
cat fur in there.
Yeah.
No, they've got a rep for that, haven't
I
they?
know.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. Yeah, but it's incredible having them around, right?
Oh, I love. Yeah. I mean, my attitude toward them is probably not a safe attitude. Like, I love the mountain lions. I just want to see them, and I'm not scared of them for some reason, which I know I should be.
Yeah.
My wife, on the other hand, is like absolutely terrified, and we have a 1-year-old, so that's also
Who's running around in the garden?
who's running around the garden, so that's not ideal either. But
Yeah, I can understand why that might be a
Yeah.
concern.
yeah,
I mean, I often think about like how many times we're being watched walking through the bush or the trees
I
or
know.
wherever, and they're just there on a tree, just like watching us, chilling. They don't
Yeah.
need to bother.
I know. They're yeah, I think about that a lot. How many times have we been close to some sort of like predatory animal and just have no idea?
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's just like kind of at the choice of the predator, whether it's the
Right.
right moment or not, whether they've eaten a snack already,
yeah,
all those things.
yeah, or like what sort of vibe they're picking up from you, or
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, I guess my wife is also like gets the kind of shivers from the idea of mountain lions. And I can understand, she's
Yeah.
smaller. Like we're like big guys who kind of pride ourselves on being tough and all that kind of thing. Maybe not that extreme, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
we
yeah.
project a different kind of thing potentially. So maybe it would make sense to.
No, I mean, I think my attitude toward mountain lions is kind of dumb, like, and it's totally at odds with my attitude toward sharks. Like, I'm completely paranoid about sharks,
Yeah.
and mountain lions, I don't know, it just, it doesn't give me the same sort of, I don't know, eerie, scary vibe for whatever reason.
So were you always paranoid about sharks?
Always paranoid about sharks. Yeah.
Interesting. So
Always.
did you think that you were going to get hit by a shark before?
I've never had an encounter with a shark. I had one in Manhattan Beach when I was in my mid-20s probably, but it was just like a 6-foot baby shark. And
Okay.
it was just like doing little circles 15 feet away from us. And I mean, we kind of panicked and went in when we saw it, but it
Yeah.
wasn't a terrifying encounter or
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And, I've seen them not here, but I've seen like reef sharks and stuff like that diving other places, and that didn't really freak me out either.
Okay.
But the idea of a great white like coming out of the deep and getting me has always terrified me, And like I remember in high school, I took this marine biology class and we watched Jaws,
Yeah, yeah.
in the class. And then the next day, I went surfing down in Huntington Beach, and there was these buoys out in the water, and I was terrified.
The same kind that were on the.
And it was totally irrational. Like the buoys were like completely still,
Yeah,
like not
yeah,
moving
yeah.
around at all. But I would not go near them. It's just like there's going to be a shark attached to that thing. It's going to get me, and yeah.
But it didn't stop you from surfing.
No.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, it shows your love, love for the sport.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to adjust my levels here because
Yeah.
I am. Wait, which one am I? That one. Turn me. I'm a little bit heavy, hot and heavy on this. So, where to start? I guess it's curious. When I was talking to your friend Derek yesterday, I was surprised to hear that he said, like, of all people, James is the one who has been very conscious and very aware and kind of had a side eye about sharks in the past. So it's so strange that he's the one that got attacked.
Yeah. This sounds ridiculous, but I always kind of thought I would be attacked.
That's what I was kind of getting at with
Yeah.
the question before. It's
Yeah.
like, did you imagine that you would? Like, so
I don't know. It's sort of a weird thing, and this is going to sound totally crazy, but in the last few months, like, it just seemed like a very real possibility. Like
before it happened.
Yeah, before it happened. I know that's sort of insane to say, but like it felt like there was like some sort of premonition, like this was going to happen. But I will say that on the day that it actually happened, it was not on my mind at all.
Okay.
We think of Big River as like the safest place around here, which is totally dumb. It's still a river mouth. It's just completely vibes.
And when you say it completely vibes, you mean there are traits of all river mouths that mean that it would be a good spot for sharks?
Yeah.
Or what do you mean?
So river mouths are notoriously sharky, like across the world. I was talking to a shark researcher after the attack, and he said that the main reason is that like things die upriver, and then the scent or whatever like flows out of the river, and so sharks are attracted to river mouths for that reason. There's also, of course, like seals and sea lions,
food flowing,
and salmon and steelhead and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's just like a food flow there.
Yeah.
And a death flow there that they're attracted to. Yeah. So when I say vibes, I mean, surfers always have kind of ideas about which places are sharky and which places aren't sharky. And we all kind of agree around here that, at least prior to the attack, that Big River was a safer place, whereas like a place like Blues or whatever up north, that's like extremely sharky.
Okay.
And there was an attack there like over a decade ago, not at Blues specifically, but very near there.
Was that where the guy who was diving for abalone got attacked?
Yeah. So that didn't happen at Blues specifically, but only like a mile or two away from there. But it's basically just, Big River is close to town. There's people on the beach.
There's a lot of people.
It's like a little cove,
Yeah, it's holiday vibes.
Right. Whereas Blues is up north. It's more rugged. There's nobody there. It just has a much more wide open, deep ocean sort of vibe. And so it feels a lot scarier.
So we're going to jump into your story,
Okay.
like everything you remember, but tell me the context of the attack at Blues. Do you know that story? Do you know what happened there?
I don't know exactly what happened. I know that he was, I think, an either urchin or abalone diver.
Okay.
And he got decapitated, which is pretty gnarly.
It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah. But that was the last attack, at least on this part of the coast, and that was, I think, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And then there was, another one this year, a little bit further south in Wallala, also.
Was there?
Yeah.
Interesting. What happened with that?
That one was gnarly. That was also at the river mouth.
Okay.
The Wallala River. I think it was in January.
Okay.
And mine was in March.
This was all while I was away in South Africa, so I kind of missed some of this news.
Yeah. So it was a gnarly attack. I don't want to, tell his story, but he got really lucky as far as I can tell.
Okay.
And I think, from what I know, he was just sitting there on his board. I think he was out alone, but maybe there was a person on the beach that he was friends with that was, they were associated. And it was just a full committed attack and launched him out of the water and
wow,
broke his board. And
wow,
yeah,
it was the force of the hit.
Yeah.
Broke
well,
the
I think the shark
or the bite.
The bite, I think the board even got stuck in the shark's mouth or something like that. Again, I want to tell his story, but it sounded like a very violent attack.
Yeah.
And yeah, but he survived.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens, eh? It's a thing.
Yeah. And I think it's going to happen more and more.
Why do you say that?
All of the experts I've been talking to, or the Fish and Games, the shark researcher, there's just more sharks than there used to be. We can't fish them anymore, that you can't kill them, obviously. Plus, there's been a massive increase in seal and sea lion population through protection and stuff like that. So there's way more food than there used to be.
So then there's more animals.
So there's a lot more animals.
A lot more than predators. There's more food for the predators.
Yeah.
I guess then a higher chance of something going wrong.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be an interesting kind of near future with the shark attacks. I think there could be more because it just seems like there's a lot more sharks than there used to be.
Yeah. So let's talk about your attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we'll hop around all over the place with some other things, but it's such a, I've got so many questions.
Yeah.
So let's describe Big River, just so that people have an idea of exactly what we're looking at. It's a river mouth.
Yeah.
And jump in and add extra detail. As far as I understand, it's like it's Big River. It's a big river mouth.
Yeah.
It's a sandy beach area. There's a lot of tourists going up and down. There's people who swim that river mouth every week. There's a open water kind of swimming club that swim up and down the river, but not actually in the ocean. They don't go in the ocean. They don't go in the ocean.
Yeah. It's just right in town in Mendocino. Mendocino is a little tourist town. For all the surfers out there, I just want to say, most of the time, Big River sucks. So don't get any ideas that, there's this great...
You just try to protect your spot.
No, I'm just honest advice. Mendocino is not a good place to surf for the most part. But occasionally it does get good. And yeah, it's just depending on where the water's flowing out, changes the wave a lot.
Okay.
So sometimes it flows out on the south side of the beach. It's in a little cove with rocks on both sides. And if it flows out on the south side, it kind of creates a little wedgie left. And but if we get a lot of rain, pushes the river mouth to the north side of the beach, and then it becomes more rights. But again, most of the time it's really not a very good place to surf. It's just it seems like it should be a lot better because river mouths can be really good, but for the most part, it's just kind of a fun place next to town, and then every once in a while it gets good. But it I've been living here for 10 years, and I've seen it proper good, where it's doing the thing that you want it to do twice over 10 years. So it's just Okay,
two questions.
Yeah.
Many questions, but two main questions. Yeah. Why are you there if it's not very good?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing it's because of convenience.
Well, so I would just say that northern Mendocino County in general is just not a very good place to surf.
Okay.
And I'm not just saying that for all potential surfers out there. It's just a really difficult place to surf. It's not like Santa Cruz or Southern California where you have kind of consistent setups.
Yeah.
And the attraction for me, at least surfing up here, is just that like the waves aren't as good as they are in other places of California, but there's nobody around.
Yes.
It's uncrowded.
Okay.
And as a person that I just can't deal with crowd surfing, that's extremely important to me.
Is it?
Yeah. And it's not that Big River is terrible. Like, it can be fun. And like I said, occasionally it does get really good. But it gets really good maybe once or twice every 5 years for like a week, or like some random day. It's the thing about surfing in Mendocino is we get just so much swell.
Yeah. I see that regularly.
And and we don't have points or reefs or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just constant sand movement.
Okay.
And so you have to be completely dialed into, where is the sand good at this exact moment, and the winds and swell and all that sort of stuff. It's just like the surfing environment here just changes all the time.
Interesting.
Whereas, in a place like Santa Cruz, they have all these points and they have these reefs and stuff like that. And so it creates a consistent setup. Whereas for us, we kind of have to be like, okay, here's good now. This is good now.
Yeah.
It's just kind of chasing things all over the coast.
So do you have like a community of surfers who are like constantly adding information so that people know what's going on? Or is it like a personal thing?
It's a mix,
okay.
Because on the one hand, you want to be in the loop, so you kind of you share enough information so that other people keep you in the loop about where is good.
Yeah.
But also, you don't want to like blow it up so that everybody shows up at that spot at that time.
Yeah.
It's a fine balance of information sharing.
It's like you gotta donate, but you don't want to donate all the good stuff.
Yes, yeah, and yeah, it feels bad when your friends are scoring and they didn't tell you, and you're just like, oh,
yeah, what did I do wrong?
Crushing. But then also, you've also been that person where you didn't say like, oh, this spot's really good right now. So it's a back and forth and a fine balance. But the surf community here is wonderful. It's very tight knit. Everybody knows each other, and everybody's friendly and gets along for the most part. And it's a good community.
Yeah. So how did they react when they heard the news about the attack?
Yeah. So I have a funny story about that. Do you want to hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after the attack, everybody was at the beach, pretty much.
Like present at the beach.
Like pretty much, I would say like 5 or 6. Like I would say the surf community is probably somewhere around like 15 people.
Okay.
And I would say about half of them just happened to be at Big River that day.
Wow.
Not necessarily surfing with me, but they were on the beach, and then showed up afterwards also. And then the Fish and Games guy needed to collect my things.
Okay.
So he wanted my surfboard and stuff. I guess at that time that was all he was gathering for DNA and testing and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I had already left in the ambulance, but my board was there, and I don't even know who had it, but one of the boys had it, and he went up to him and he's like, I need to take the surfboard for testing. And they were like, well, it's not even hit. Like, it didn't even get touched, which was the remarkable thing. My surfboard didn't get touched.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know, but like, I still need to take it. And this other guy was like, I don't think you understand. Like, this is James's favorite surfboard. Like, if you take it and you ding it, he's going to be pissed. And he's like, I know, I get it. I promise I'll be very, very careful. And he's like, okay, I'll give it to you, but you have to be careful. And he's like, okay. And he takes it, and this other guy's like, I don't think you understand, man. Like, if you look at that thing wrong, like, you're going to fuck it up. And then he's like, I get it. And he's like putting it in the truck. And they're like, whoa. You can't just put it in the truck like that. Let me get you a bag. So one of the other guys like went and grabbed a board bag and like took his surfboard out and put it in his car and gave the fishing game guy a bag to put my board in. He's like, okay, can I take it now? And they're like, oh yeah, I guess so. And then they're like, wait. You don't need the fins. Like, you don't need the fins in the board. Let us take the fins. And so they
the negotiation.
They like unscrewed the fins and took the fins out, and eventually like let the guy take the board, but they just gave him such a hard time about it.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Which I appreciated.
Do you have it back now?
Yeah, I have it back.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So the board, like they said, there was nothing on the board. But the leash got hit. There was it looked like somebody just took a knife to the leash.
You just cut it.
Yeah. So they kept the leash and they kept my wetsuit also for a while, but I have all of it back now. But
okay.
So they took that for DNA testing.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah. But people were freaked in the community, like really freaked out afterwards.
Yeah, I bet.
We kind of thought of Mendocino as at least our part of the coast is pretty safe in comparison to other parts of Northern California because there hadn't been attack here for so long. And there's kind of different, at least, I heard different theories about why we were safer than other places, but it definitely made people more aware and more concerned. And like there's one local guy who was just like, I'm not surfing river mouths anymore. And that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, it definitely sent ripples. People were painting like stripes and things on the bottom of their surfboard, which doesn't work. But
is that a thought that they can help? Because
there's various thoughts about paint zebra stripes on the bottom of your board or have big eyeballs on the bottom of your board, and I don't think those things actually do anything though.
Yeah, interesting. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's curious. So you were talking before we were going into the detail about like that day, because I want to go back through that day.
Yeah.
If you're okay with like going through step by step.
I can tell you kind of like the whole thing.
Okay, you were talking about the wave structures and how it can change depending on how the river mouth is flowing. Mm-hmm. It was heading to the north side at that point. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that meant, what was the kind of environment like where you were surfing?
Yeah, so do you want me to just tell you the kind of what happened that day?
Please do.
Yeah, okay. So I had an hour after school before I had to go pick up my kid from daycare.
Okay.
So I looked at the waves really quick. It looked fun. I like rushed down, got my stuff on, ran out to the beach. And it was fun. It was just kind of rights on the north side of the beach. And I had been surfing for about an hour. At the time, there was only 4 other people out. 3 of them were people I know, people I surf with all the time. 2 of them were off-duty lifeguards. One was a former student of mine.
Okay.
And then one was this other guy that I didn't know at the time, but would become important. So I had to go. Like I didn't have any more time. I really did not want to go because the waves were getting better and better and better. It was actually really fun that day. And
so you're already running a bit late at that point.
I wasn't running late at that point, but if I had surfed any
longer,
your
wife's going to listen to this.
If I had surfed any longer, I would have been late. So the other people I was kind of surfing with, they'd all caught a wave. We kind of follow rotation when we're surfing, and so it was my turn, and I was kind of out by myself, and I paddled north to get kind of deeper on the wave, just kind of casually, just trying to put myself in a good position for the next wave. and then I saw a wave coming, and I was kind of too deep for it, so I was paddling as hard as I could to the south, basically. And I think in hindsight, just knowing where the attack came from, is I think I was paddling at the shark really calmly, and then I think I bolted in the other direction. So I think it might have been like a prey response sort of thing.
Like a trigger.
Yeah. And so I'm paddling about as hard as I can south and getting into this wave. So I have a bit of momentum going.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I just feel this pressure on my feet. Like, and at first I didn't understand what was happening. It was such an unusual, unexpected sensation.
Yeah, not what you ever feel.
No. It was just like, it was almost like a bear trap, It was just like this pressure on my legs.
But it wasn't like a sharp pain.
No, it was just like, it was pressure. That was the main thing I felt.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I just like stopped in the water,
You weren't moving forwards anymore.
No, I wasn't moving forwards anymore. Like I just came to a dead stop. And at that moment, I kind of realized what was happening. I was like, oh, this is it. This is a shark attack.
The thing that I've been worrying about.
The thing I've been worrying about for so long. And, I immediately, it's amazing how time slows down in this sort of moment. Like I just thought of my wife and kid, and I was just like, I cannot die right now. Like this is a really bad time to die.
Emotionally, so you had that thought,
Yeah.
I know what's happening.
Yeah.
This is what I imagined could happen.
Yeah.
I kind of felt was going to happen,
Yeah.
like as a premonition.
Yeah.
Was it like a calm realization, or were you feeling a lot of fear at that point?
You don't have any time to be scared.
Yeah.
It is surprisingly not that scary in the moment.
So you weren't like overwhelmed?
No.
Okay.
I was very clear about what I needed to do.
Yeah.
I'm, lying on my surfboard, and I can
face
down, and I can feel this pressure on my legs, and I know what's happening. Apparently at this point, which I don't remember, is I'm yelling like, fuck, fuck, fuck.
Interesting.
And I have no memory of that.
Yeah.
But I believe it. And then I turned around, and the shark was out of the water, like directly behind me with my legs in its mouth.
Like its face fully up.
Face fully out of the water. Like I can see its whole head.
How big is its head? From what you're gesturing, it seems big.
It was big. Talking to the shark researcher guy. He asked me when I told him the story. He's like, well, could you see the eyes? And I said, no, I couldn't see the eyes. He's like, well, that means it was like a fairly large shark, because if it was a smaller shark, you would have been able to see the eyes on the side of the head.
They're more forwards.
Right. But if it's a larger shark, the head is so wide and they're more to the side, and you can't see the eyes.
Wow.
But I could see, like, the visual of it was just, I was surprised by how black it was. Like,
it was dark.
It was really dark on top, and then white on the bottom, And
how wide? Like, so you're doing a hand gesture?
Yeah, like this, probably.
That's like 3 feet, like pretty much. Almost.
I don't know.
2.5 feet across.
2 to 3 feet, probably.
Wow.
And you can see the teeth and stuff, and I just, I knew in the back of my mind, like, I need to fight this thing.
Yeah.
Like, so, I turned around, and it was really awkward because I'm lying on my surfboard, kind of trying to hold my surfboard with one hand and like trying to fight this thing behind me with my other hand. I'm trying to like push its nose because I, in the back of my mind, I remember that that's a thing to do.
Like punch its nose if you
can.
can.
And push it and try to get my legs free and that sort of stuff. And
but it was clamped.
It was clamped. Yeah.
Was it like biting? Was it biting, or was it like just solid chomp?
It was just kind of like on it.
Yeah.
It was just kind of gripped on it. And I think later I talked to the shark researcher, and he was like, they don't like legs because a leg immediately gives them the wrong sensation, right? It's like when they're attacking a seal or whatever, they go for the stomach, and the stomach on a seal is like fleshy and soft and fatty.
Yeah.
But a leg immediately gives them like hard bone.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of immediately know, like, oh, this isn't it, you know?
Yeah.
But it was still kind of on there, and I was fighting it. And my former student that was out there, he saw the whole thing go down, and he was like, it just looked like he wanted to fucking kill that thing. Like, which felt good, because in my mind I was like, I hope I'm not making this up to like make myself feel good that I fought this shark, you know?
Yeah.
But he was like, no, man, it looked like you were pissed and you just wanted to get out there and kill that thing.
Giving it everything you have.
Yeah. And it let go. Like I just, I got that like, oh, I'm free sensation. Like it let go. And
how long do you think that you were fighting it for?
I think it's hard to piece it all together because time slows down so much.
Yeah.
But I think from beginning to end, I think the attack was like 5 seconds.
Wow. How long did it feel like?
It felt, I don't even know. It's like you enter another dimension.
Yeah.
It's like a different time dimension, and the amount of thoughts that you have, it's like outside of time.
Yeah.
It's a very weird, I can't even say. But yeah, so I got free, and a wave came immediately, and I was like, oh my God, thank God, there's a wave coming. And I could kind of see the other people that I was surfing with out there looking at me, kind of looking to see if I was going to catch the wave. And I realized that I was in a really bad position to catch the wave. But I was just like, I have to catch it. Like, I don't have a choice. I was just like too deep. I was really late.
So you weren't in like a good stable position, or
I wasn't.
It's
like the
timing,
wave was basically going to
right.
break on me.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
So
You're not exactly going to be like, nah, I'm going to wait for the next one.
It was not like a cat. No. And it wasn't going to be a casual, easy drop in. It was, I like in the moment I was like, there's a really good chance this is just going to wipe me out. But
Yeah.
I feel like I have a choice. So I went for it, and I caught the wave and somehow made it the drop. And kind of as I'm going down, I saw the shark again for like a second.
In the wave?
In the trough of the wave.
Whoa.
And I think there are things, it's funny because I remember a lot extremely clearly, but then there are other things that happen that the people out there said happened that I don't have any memory of. And some people out there said that it jumped at some point and like pushed me underwater. And I have no memory of that. But what I think happened, and the shark researcher kind of corroborated this, is that when when I was on the wave going at it after the attack, is it probably like freaked out because they do not want to be attacked either.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking that maybe it kind of like went through the wave and jumped or splashed or did something dramatic.
To try to get away.
Yeah, to try to get away.
But supposedly someone said it landed like on you
after
the attack.
Someone said it like landed on me and pushed me underwater. 2 people said that actually.
Whoa.
And I just don't, I don't want to say they're wrong, but I have either they're wrong or I have zero memory of that.
Coincidentally, did those 2 people talk to each other?
Yeah, they're good friends, so
they would have shared that story with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, memory's weird, right?
Memory is weird, and I do believe that I yelled like fuck. And I don't have any memory of that. Ironically, like while the attack was happening, I do remember yelling shark, which is like the most like obvious thing ever. Yeah, there's a shark right there.
Well, there's worse things to shout.
Yeah. And then, so I rode that wave in on my belly and just tried to get to the sandbar as best as I could, just get as shallow as I could. And I made it into kind of like knee-deep water.
So there's just like a spot where the sand is collected and it's shallower, but it's not actually at the beach yet.
Yeah, because the river separates the beach from the sandbar.
Okay.
And yeah, so I got into knee-deep water, and at that point, I didn't even know if I had legs still. So I was
you hadn't looked?
No, no, I hadn't looked.
Was that a thought that you had? Like, should I look?
No, my thought was just like, well, I'm gonna try to stand now. I hope I have legs to stand on. So fortunately, I was able to stand and walk and get onto the sandbar by myself. And at that point, everybody else out there, they all kind of caught that same wave that I caught. So they all kind of came in with me and they started helping me at that point. And yeah, and then I still had to cross the river. So somebody lent me their surfboard and they kind of, I laid on it and they kind of pulled me across the river basically.
Yeah.
And then I got to the beach. And then, so the other guy that was out there, he was like, I'm a surgeon.
Whoa.
I'm probably going to be working on you later. Let me take a look at your wounds. And in my head, I was thinking like, yeah, right, crazy guy. Like, you're not a surgeon. Like, you just want to feel important right now.
What did you say to him?
I was just like, okay, whatever. I mean, two of the other people I was surfing with were lifeguards too, so I felt like I was in relatively good hands, you know?
Yeah.
And but he took a look at my wounds and he was like, I think you're gonna be okay. I'm gonna run ahead and I'll meet you at the ER. And yeah, he actually ended up being my surgeon, and he and another guy, and then he also did my tendon repair, which we can talk about later.
Yeah.
So he ended up being a really important person for me, but in the moment I didn't know him. It was just like crazy coincidence. And yeah, so and then I was on the beach, and it was pretty clear that I didn't have any artery damage or anything like that. Like, it was pretty clear I was going to survive.
You weren't like shooting blood.
I wasn't shooting blood. No, like there was plenty of blood,
Yeah.
but I wasn't bleeding out, and that was pretty obvious right away.
Do you remember what your friends were saying to you when you got to the beach? Like, can you remember anything that people were saying or interactions? Was there like humor in dire circumstances, or was it like all super serious?
Yeah. So I won't name names, but
You can name names.
No, I'm not naming names. But this one guy on the beach who he's a person in the community that I don't really know, but I know of him, and I guess we're sort of acquaintances.
Yeah.
And he was just on the beach, and he had a little joint in his hand. And he walks up to me super casually as like I'm on the beach with blood and stuff, and he offers me the joint, and he just goes, "Medicinal marijuana?"
What did your surgeon recommend at that point?
The surgeon was, I think, gone at that point. But I was just like, no, man, I cannot. That would freak me out right now.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So that was pretty funny. And then my former student, I was supposed to be picking up my kid at this point. So
yeah.
And my wife was working, and so, and she was working at the ER, and I was like headed toward her, sort of in a weird way. But I had my friend Abel, my former student, I had him go call her. So he had to like run to my car and call her. And I felt really bad for him later because he had to be like, hi, Chloe, this is Abel. This isn't James, but James is okay, I promise. But he just got attacked by a shark. And she just apparently like crumpled in the ER.
Wow. She knew that you were heading over to her soon.
Yeah. And then I was able to call her. Another friend of mine, Holly, was on the beach, and she came and like gave me some comfort, which was actually really appreciated in the moment, and let me use her phone to call Chloe. So I was able to call her pretty quickly afterwards and kind of let her know that I was okay. And then my friends that were the lifeguards, they started, addressing my wounds, and then all of the different first responders showed up.
Yeah.
It was Mendocino Volunteer Fire Department and, state parks and all the people. And then eventually the ambulance and stuff. And
So how long, you say eventually? How long do you think you were at the beach?
I think on the beach, I was probably on the beach for like 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah, because I mean, the nearest
Yeah.
hospital is a 20-minute drive away, right?
Yeah. But I would say that they came in waves, and the first wave of first responders was probably there within 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, okay.
It was really quick.
Mm.
And they were giving me, I was cold, like that was the main thing, which I actually think helped maybe with the bleeding, but the water was freezing that day. And so I was cold. They were like taking off my wetsuit, so they gave me like those thermal blankets and
Little silver ones.
yeah, the silver ones, and they were, packing my wounds and all that sort of stuff. And then they put me on this little it was kind of like a four-wheel golf cart, basically.
Oh.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it was like the strangest parade I've ever been a part of, because at that point, like, I know I'm going to survive. I've just gone through this crazy experience. Like, I am just like hyped out of my mind. Like, adrenaline, like a full like drug experience, basically, just from the adrenaline and like the relief. And
You were happy at that point.
so happy.
Yeah.
And so I'm in this little cart going down the beach, and it's just like everybody I know. It's like, oh, there's Greg. Like,
You're
oh,
waving.
there's Hall. Yeah, I'm
Like
waving.
the Queen.
Yeah, I'm waving like the Queen, basically. And there's a group of my students, and I like throw my students a shaka, and I'm like, yeah. And and then there's keep going, and then there's like Jordy and Fosse and like all these people that I know. It's just like the strangest sort of thing. And then I get to the ambulance, and it's more people I know. It's like there's Seneca, there's Tyler. That's like
Sounds like a dream sequence from a movie.
yeah, it was so weird. And at that point, like I said, I was in such high spirits because I had survived.
You were okay.
And the adrenaline was crazy. And yeah, and then they got me in the ambulance, and that was my only ambulance ride ever. And
Yeah.
and there they addressed, took a closer look at my wounds and stuff. They had initially called a helicopter in case I had.
It was more urgent.
Yeah, and so after the ambulance ride, we don't need the helicopter. He's going to be fine.
Did they tourniquet you at all? Or
I didn't need
it. It was
it.
okay because you weren't arterial.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
Yeah, and then I got to the hospital, and my wife was there, working, and so that was a nice relief also. And
Was she allowed to work on you?
She didn't work on me, but she made sure I was taken care of and stuff like that. But really, I wasn't. From the time of the attack until my first surgery was 2 hours, so everything happened extremely quickly.
Wow.
Yeah. So within 2 hours, I was completely knocked out and getting stitched up. And actually, the more important thing was just getting cleaned out, because that's the bigger danger is infection at that point.
I guess a shark's mouth isn't very clean.
It's really bad. I was on like every single antibiotic for like I was on like I think literally 7 antibiotics.
Really?
Yeah.
For how long?
For about I think that it took like 2 weeks until I was like completely off the antibiotics.
Curious.
Yeah.
Side question.
Yeah.
Antibiotics can really like wipe out your gut biome.
Yeah.
Did you notice any changes, kind of how you like interacted with food once you ate it afterwards?
Not really.
It was fine.
Yeah. I seem to have a pretty resilient stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you just never had any gut biome in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, and it was like I said, it was that guy that was at surfing with me that was one of my surgeons, and
yeah,
it was crazy.
Can you remember what your wife said to you when she first saw you?
I don't remember what she said, but it was just like relief, like gave her a kiss, and it's all gonna be okay, and that sort of stuff. And then my mom actually had left that day from visiting us, and she was on a plane. She like I got attacked basically when she was getting on like taking off.
Okay.
So she didn't know about it for a little while, but she had my dad on the phone, and my dad knows that I'm paranoid about shark attacks. So over my whole life, he always teased me about like getting attacked by a shark, you know? And so the first thing I said when my dad was on the phone, I was like, I just want you to know this is all your fault. Like all those jokes about getting attacked by a shark all these years. And he was just like, you have no idea how guilty I feel. So, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
You might as well milk it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm going to look at my notes a second because I wrote like a bunch of things. I think you've covered everything, but I just want to make sure for a second. I think you've kind of answered this, but one thing I was wondering is, have you thought about or considered, or maybe now is the time to think about it, what do you think would have happened if the luck of the surgeon being there or your lifeguard friends being there, do you think it would have been any different? I mean, you were able to stand, so...
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think I would have been fine. This is adjacent. This is adjacent to your question.
Okay.
So, after you get attacked by a shark, you know, people want to mythologize it a little bit. You know, I cannot tell you how many times after the attack I've heard like, oh, the man, the myth, the legend, blah 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 blah. You know, my last name is Eastman, and for my whole life, and I do this, like, just add a B to it, and it becomes Beastman, you know, and I love that. But when you get attacked by a shark, people mythologize it, and they want you to be this sort of like legend or whatever, and it's really uncomfortable for me because, in answer to your question, like, I think I would have been totally fine. Like, even if I didn't fight it, I think I would have survived. Like, I think there's a totally alternate universe where the shark attacks me, I do nothing. It realizes, like, this is a bony leg. This is not what I want. It spits me out. I don't even have to worry about catching that next wave. I could just like casually paddle in and it would just disappear. You know, I think that's a totally realistic version of the events. You know, the only thing that could have changed it is if it got an artery, right? Like that's the only thing that matters, I think, is did it get an artery or not? And if it doesn't get an artery, then you're probably going to be fine because it's going to realize you're not like a delicious, tasty, fatty seal and spit you out. And then it's not going to come back for a second attack because it already knows what you are and you're fine.
Yeah.
And I think I don't think that's true necessarily for all types of sharks, but I think that's true about great whites based on everything I've learned kind of since then.
Yeah. I'd love to talk to you about what you've learned because it sounds like from some friends that I've spoken to that you've kind of gone into a bit of a deep dive, no pun intended, I guess, of like understanding more about this whole area now.
Yeah.
But first, do you mind if I run to the bathroom? Because I've got like a pee bladder today.
It's all
I
good.
don't know
It's all
what's
good.
going on. Sorry to interrupt the flow, man.
No, it's all good.
Your glass is about to fall over here. Dude, that was. I'm enjoying this. Yeah.
Detail is fantastic.
We're going to interrupt this conversation for just 1 second so that I can politely remind you this is the perfect moment to make sure that you are following, subscribed, and doing all those things that people who enjoy podcasts do. It's really important. It means that it's going to get in your stream so that next time you think, oh, I could do with listening to a podcast right now, we're going to pop up with another amazing person who's got fantastic stories just like James. Here's his story now. Before we jump into the the deep dive that you've now gone into. Let's make sure that I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Excuse me. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine, because I've not been in a situation even similar to this. But you said like the elation and the relief. Was part of that about your paranoia and the kind of premonition that you knew you were going to get hit by a shark, and so now you know that it happened and you're going to be okay? Or was it just because it happened in that moment and you're like, wow, this could have been a lot worse?
Yeah, I think I have a lot to say about that. You know, I haven't surfed yet, and that's not because I don't want to. It's just because up until very recently I haven't been physically capable. But there is an element of it where I feel like when I go surfing, I know I'm going to have some sort of weird PTSD reactions to certain situations and stuff like that. But there is another element to it where it's like, now I know what a shark attack is. Like, part of the fear of the shark attack is the unknowing part of it, right? Like, just something can come out of the deep and get you, and what's that going to be like? But now I know what it's like, which is sort of a weird thing to say. Like, I know what it's like to have something come out of nowhere and grab you from below and kind of have this violent experience or whatever. And it's not as scary as it is in your mind or how you imagine it to be, right? Like, in the moment, you're just, at least for me, like, very logical, just like, okay, this is happening and this is what I need to do to get out of the situation. And obviously my shark attack could have been a lot worse in so many ways. Like, I could have lost a limb, or I could have it could have got an artery or whatever. So I got extremely lucky in that way. But as far as the general experience, like, I kind of know what it is now.
It's like a horror movie, right? Like, the scariest part of the horror movie is when you don't really know what the thing is.
Exactly. Yeah. But then the elation and stuff, the mixed, the emotional aspect of it, it's just so many different things. Like, on the one hand, it's just, like my friend Maurizio, who was out there and helped me, he was holding my chest when he was kind of escorting me across the river and stuff, and he was just like, your heart was just like boom, 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 boom. It's just, your body is in such a heightened state. So there's that kind of adrenaline aspect to it. There's the, like, I survived, like, I'm gonna live reality, which is kind of euphoric in a way. But then there's all these other things that are sort of strange to talk about, like, it's probably the most spiritual experience I've ever had, which is like an odd thing to say. I think part of it is the fact that it kind of seems to happen outside of time, but then you also feel this like closeness to death, like death is just like right there. Like, you can like almost like reach out and touch it, and to kind of like have that sort of encounter with death, or like the possibility of death, and then to come back from it, like you're just like, it's kind of mind blowing, and I don't know.
Is it like that you're more acquainted?
Yeah, it's
like more comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I feel like I have a better understanding of like what death is now, and it is sort of weirdly comforting. It's not, like, obviously I don't want to die, but like,
but we all do.
Yeah, but we all do. And it was just kind of like right there, you know, and it's not as terrifying as I thought it was going to be. Yeah. So you it's almost like you cross the threshold or something, especially once you know you're okay again. Yeah. It's like, okay, I've come back to the real world, or not the real world, but the normal world, and I had this encounter with this other thing, and I'm okay, and I'm going to survive, and like I'm going to go see my wife and my kid, and like look at all these people I love, they were all there, and they're all right there. Yeah, in a procession. And it's just, it's just a very intense, complicated emotional experience. And then there's a whole emotional tale that is like another thing, you know. But in the immediate aftermath of it, it is sort of like weirdly euphoric.
Did that experience then and the euphoria that happened, I'm assuming, speculation on my part, but suddenly you have more gratitude for everything that you already have because it could have got taken away so
Yeah,
easily.
for sure.
Did that continue for a while? Did you feel that? Did it? Or was it just like you were kind of suddenly there were some other realities like medical treatment and pain and all those things to deal with that kind of pulled you away from that?
Yeah.
Bills, I can imagine.
Yeah, you immediately get sucked back into reality.
Uh-huh.
I think especially with a shark attack because um, I understand why. Like for so many people, a shark attack is just like a nightmare experience, and it produces this emotional response in people, and then people want your attention, and they like want things from you. And a lot of it is like beautiful, you know, but like the 2 or 3 days after the attack in the hospital, like I counted like over 100 individuals reached out to me. And so you kind of go from this intense emotional experience, and then all of a sudden, like you're just enmeshed with people again, right? Like, I think like the second day in the hospital, like I was literally on my phone like the entire day, just like responding to people or talking to people or, so you just get sucked back into reality. And then,
Yeah.
like you don't really, it's kind of a regret I have. Like I just should have turned off my phone, you know, but you don't get the opportunity to just kind of dwell in it as much as maybe would have been ideal. And then, you know, it is, it's weird because it seems to happen to everybody that goes through this sort of thing is like, you do kind of have like a PTSD response, and it doesn't necessarily settle in immediately, you know, but for whatever reason, and I don't really know why, like it does set off this kind of like chain reaction of emotional responses, which are not all positive.
Do you mind sharing what they are?
Well, it's like an evolving thing. It's yeah, like, and it comes and goes, but yeah, the emotional side of it has been difficult. I would say. I think my wife can attest. Is well, first of all, there's the nightmares, you know.
So that's coming. You getting nightmares?
Yeah. Fortunately for me, I don't seem to have as many as other people do. But yeah, starting about like a week or so after the attack, I had and a lot of them were more metaphorical than specific to a shark. It was just like I'm in my house, and there are people outside of my house, and I'm like frantically trying to like patch every little gap in the wall or like close the windows and like lock every door and that sort of stuff. But and then some of them are really specific, you know, like I had a dream the other night where I was fishing in this like muddy river and I caught a fish, and it was like, oh, this is a big fish. And I reel it in and I get it right next to the beach. I'm like, holy shit, this is like a massive shark. And I'm like, how do I get the hook out of the shark's mouth? And I'm trying to do that, and like as I get the hook out, this kid sees the shark and freaks out and then jumps into the river, and then the shark is just like trailing the kid, and I just like woke up like heart pounding, just freaking out, you know. And so there's like those sorts of things, and the one that I've really and I haven't talked to anyone. One shark attack survivor reached out to me and has helped me a little bit, but other than that, I like haven't talked to anybody. But like, I'm so much more angry now than I used to be, which I don't really get why.
Just like a shorter fuse.
Shorter fuse, like way shorter fuse.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
What did the shark attack guy who approached you? Did you talk to him about that?
I haven't talked to him about that specifically. I talked to him. I need to talk to him again, but
Yeah.
he reached out kind of in the immediate aftermath, and he just kind of told me like, he basically was like, it's gonna be hard. he's like, don't worry, don't feel like you're failing in some way or whatever. He's just like, you're probably gonna have PTSD from this, and like it's gonna be difficult. So yeah, it's weird because on the one hand, you do feel very grateful for things.
Yes.
And then on the other hand, there's this like whole emotional tale that kind of is continually unwinding and is sort of hard to make sense of. It's just like, why can't I hold on to these positive aspects that I felt and that I know are true, when like, why do these negative things, why are these negative things so inherent to the process?
Yeah.
And why, like, it just doesn't really make sense to me that they should be, right? Like, I just wonder, is it that so many people say that you have PTSD after, so then that becomes
solidifies it?
Yeah, solidifies it, or is it just a natural reaction to something like this, and why? You know, it's just it's really strange.
I wonder if, because we were going to talk about some of your research after this.
Yeah.
If any of that's involved, like the psychological side of things. Have you spoken to any therapists?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
So
I mean, it might be worth.
I know. I should. I just like I'm really.
It's another step, right? That you're already doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm just resistant to that sort of stuff in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never talked to a therapist in my whole life. You know, it's just like not my style. But yeah, I probably should.
I mean, everyone's different, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've spoken to a few in my years, and they've really helped me.
Yeah.
It's almost like the barrier, the idea of the thing is harder than the reality.
What do you mean by that?
Like you said, you've kind of like, it's not your thing. Therapy is not your thing, or like the idea of doing it. The act of actually having a session with someone is a big step, weirdly. Like, I've been in some really dark times, and I've had arguments with my wife where she's like, I think you need to talk to someone. Yeah. Even when I've had therapists in the past. Yeah. And we're just going on a rabbit hole now.
Yeah. No.
But,
yeah.
But that step is kind of harder than,
right.
Once that bridge is open, then that's actually much easier than if you're having some difficulty to then weirdly knowing that it's there is helpful as well, because it's like, if I get to a point where I like need to talk to someone, and you know, you've got your, like, bless my wife, she's put up with a lot in the past. I've had some less than of my finest moments, should we say. Yeah. I'm very glad that she's stayed with me. Yeah. But I think she said it herself, like, she's not a professional. Right. She doesn't know exactly how to interpret or help all the time. But then it's like that, if they're your person, right? It's easy to lean on them a lot, right? Yeah. No, I think there's definitely truth to, right, like, making that first step is probably hard. This is not me. No. I get I guess I get that. I guess the other part of it for me is like, I'm really I get really worried about how stories become part of your identity. Mm-hmm. You know, and I really don't want this to become like part of my story, if that makes any sense. You mean part of your story in the terms of like your identity? Yeah, my identity. Because I think like, you're when not oh, James, you're the shark guy. I mean, yeah, don't want to do that from an external way, or you mean like from an internal way? Both. Okay. Both.
And in a lot of ways, I don't have control over that, you know? Like, I am the shark guy now, which kind of drives me crazy. But I also don't want that to, like, have, take up too much space as far as how I think of myself. So that's, I don't know. That's part of my worry. But
it's a fair worry.
Yeah.
How do you think of yourself without the shark?
Without the shark, how do I think of myself? That's such a complicated question.
I know. But you set me up to ask it.
I think of myself as like, like temperamentally, like pretty mellow, a mellow, so much my identity is built around the things I do,
Okay.
So a mellow kind of dedicated teacher, who has kind of like an attraction, who has kind of like a restless underlayer that like needs to get out into nature and like do stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Whether that's surfing or backpacking or fishing or whatever, like there's like the teacher me, the like kind of studious, bookish, artistically driven sort of side of myself. And then there's like this restless kind of underlayer where I was just like, I can't be in the house all day. I got to get out of here.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
There's just some days where you're like, I just can't be here right now.
Yeah.
Got to go do an adventure
exactly.
of some kind.
Yeah. I got the itch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can completely understand where that fear would come from. Of course, it's been a big moment in your life right now, but in the scale of things, it's a small moment, I guess, overall.
Yeah. And it's just like some random thing that happened to me. It's just, and I was lucky. It's an extremely unlucky thing that happened that's random, in which I was extremely lucky, and
yeah,
I don't know, other things that would fit that category, they wouldn't become such big parts of one's identity because people wouldn't care so much about it, right? But because it's a shark attack, like people really care about it, and so it takes on a much bigger role than maybe I would have liked.
I think we have Jaws to thank for that, maybe.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
But it's true. It's so true what you're saying. Like, people narrowly escape car accidents.
Exactly.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day.
And it's this incredibly dangerous thing that we face every day.
And
I drove over here and risking my life to come here.
Right.
But you don't think about it at all.
No.
And people have near misses, moments, sometimes quite bad crashes or just dings, but we don't give them the weight that they probably deserve.
They're not going to receive 100 calls from 100, individuals.
No.
That's just not.
I'd be lucky if I get one call.
Right, exactly. Yeah, lucky if your wife calls.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's and I get it because if it wasn't me that got attacked, I would be extremely curious and have a million questions, and so I understand where it comes from, but it's an interesting thing to be on this side of,
Yes. Did the guy who reached out to you who had been hit by a shark before, did he explain that it's a thing, that there's a community of people? Because I remember hearing at some point that there is like this community. It's kind of like considered a thing where people reach out. You will get reached out to if you get attacked by a shark.
And there's also it's funny, I haven't joined it, but my wife has. There's this thing on Facebook called the Bite Club.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And and it kind of has rigorous standards in order to enter into it,
Really?
Yeah, there's like a selection process and everything. They take it very seriously, but it's also I haven't participated in it firsthand, just through my wife, but it is a very supportive community, and people are very honest on it, and because I think there is an element where it's like, if you go through something like that, the people that understand it best are people that have also gone through it. So, And it is weird in the way that it seems to produce like the same sorts of reactions, right? Like it's,
Yes.
we all think we're so different, but I just, things like this show me that we're really just the same, because they go through the same sorts of emotions and the same sorts of processes. And, it just sets off a chain reaction, and the chain is pretty similar for a lot of people.
It's like programming.
Yeah.
It's curious because I guess like identity, at least for me, and I get the feeling you as well, it's important to have that. That thing, like the thing that makes you. Don't tell me that I'm going to react the same as everyone else.
Right, no, I want to defy it, and that's actually been a frustrating thing for me, is like I want to defy the chain reaction, but so far I haven't really been able to.
You're going to keep trying.
Yeah, I'm going to keep trying. Yeah.
Okay. So we were going to talk about something.
Oh, what I've learned about the sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah. Yeah. It's really interesting. So I talked to this guy, Dr. Chris Lowe, who's at Cal State Long Beach. He's kind of the California's biggest shark dude,
Okay.
And he was great. We talked for probably an hour and a half or so. And he just kind of broke everything down for me. So yeah, where to start? I learned things as random as like shark attacks tend to happen from the direction of the sun, right? Like they like line up with this, like they.
So you have the sun in your eyes.
So that actually didn't happen for me.
Okay.
Mine actually came from, so on the day of my attack, the sun would have been southwest.
Towards the ocean.
Yeah. And my attack came from the north, I think. The northwest.
The northwest.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was a foggy day. The sun wasn't out that day.
So it's less of an element.
Yeah. So that was one tiny little interesting thing I learned. Another thing is like, there are kind of two types of shark attacks, basically. Mm-hmm. There's like at least with gray whites, the fully committed attack, where, the shark comes from deep and builds a lot of speed and just like hits the thing as hard as it possibly can, ideally in the torso, and, will launch out of the water, because it has so much speed.
The target flies out of the water.
The target and the shark will, come out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's like, okay.
Yeah, like that's the fully committed hunting attack.
Uh-huh.
But then there's kind of the investigatory attack. And I guess the way this normally happens is, somebody will be on a surfboard or whatever with their limbs dangling into the ocean, and the shark will kind of come up and just take a bite,
just see what it is.
See what it is, Interestingly, mine was kind of like neither of those.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him about that, and he was kind of saying, there might have been other elements going on that prevented it from making a full attack. First of all, like I was going pretty fast when it happened because I was paddling quickly. I was in the wave. Like I had wave momentum as well.
Yeah.
But I was also in really shallow water, right? So it couldn't
build up speed.
It couldn't really build up speed in the same way.
I was going to ask about how deep the water was.
Well, I think, because when I was surfing, there was a ton of sand on the north side of the beach. Maybe the most sand I've ever seen. And I think my guess is that like where the actual attack happened is that it was very shallow, probably less than 5 feet of water.
Wow.
But it probably initiated the attack in slightly deeper water, but then was like very quickly in shallow water, because I think it was just like a steep sandbar drop off.
Interesting. So it can't keep going in a way. If it kept going full speed, it could put itself into shallow water. And
well, yeah, I think it would have, like the direction of the attack was kind of like on the outer edge of the sandbar that was out there.
Okay.
But yes, it was the actual attack was in relatively shallow water, and I think the reason I saw it again is because at that point it was in like extremely shallow water. Like it didn't have room really to dive deep, because the sandbar there was very shallow, probably like less than chest deep.
Yeah. Well, it's like 4 foot or something.
Yeah. Yeah, so my attack was kind of like somewhere in between a fully committed one and an investigatory one. But the one that got hit in Gualala, that was like a fully committed attack.
Launch, yeah.
Launch. Yeah, and like I said earlier, I in some ways was lucky that it bit my legs. He said they really don't like legs because it's just like immediate bone sensation on their teeth, and they just know that's not what they want. And that it was probably a good thing for me. They like to hit like the torso. And that's why, like surfers have a much better survival rate than swimmers. Probably for that reason. For one, like their torso is protected to some extent by the board.
But the board gets bitten quite often, right? Like you
the
see
board
those
will
images.
the board will get hit a lot. But yeah, and kind of relatedly, I thought was interesting. I guess in California we have a much higher survival rate than in like South Africa or Western Australia. And part of that is the infrastructure that we have here, like cell phone towers and close hospitals and that sort of stuff. But
lots of helicopters around. And
well, that's the other thing he was saying, which I thought was really interesting. He's like, it's just kind of weird how whenever there's a shark attack in California, there's always somebody with like first responder training of some kind, whether it's like an off-duty lifeguard or a fireman or, in my case, I had 3. I had 2 off-duty lifeguards and a surgeon, for whatever reason, we just have he said that's just always how it goes in California. There's always somebody there that knows what they're doing.
It's interesting, like not even just like shark attacks, like accidents in general. There's so often there's like, and then just so happens someone who was off-duty doctor was there, or it's curious how that happens so often, isn't it? In the kind of survival stories that you hear.
Yeah. Another interesting thing I learned, which is kind of, I don't want to say frustrating, but kind of funny to think about, is apparently sharks are primarily here from like October to April.
Through the winter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I kind of knew. But apparently in April, like they book it out to this place. I think they call it like the Shark Cafe. And it's in the middle of nowhere. It's between here and Hawaii, middle of the ocean, like blue desert. They don't really know why they go there, but they assume it has something to do with mating. But yeah, so apparently starting in April, they just kind of go out into the middle of the ocean. Obviously not every single one of them goes, but like a lot of them go, which was kind of, ironic for me because I got attacked on March 18th, so it's like, if it had been just like a week and a half later, would they have been around? I don't know. But I don't know if you heard, but apparently, a local person I know, and I haven't talked to them directly, I just heard secondhand, watched a seal or a sea lion get attacked in that same spot like a week or 2 ago at Big River. So they're obviously not completely gone.
Wow. So another attack happened right there.
Yeah. On that north side of Big River. Yeah. But,
so I guess there aren't that many people surfing there right now.
Well, people are still surfing there.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are the signs still up?
I don't think so.
Because there were signs.
There were signs, yeah. But yeah. So I don't know. That's just some of the stuff I learned.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked about like emotional recovery. Mm-hmm. Tell me a bit about the physical recovery that you've had to do. Derek, our mutual friend, told me that you had to have a second surgery.
Yeah. So initially, I just had like a bunch of cuts and punctures and stuff on my legs. It's really like surprisingly not that bad, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you've healed up really fast.
Yeah, I've healed up pretty fast.
So what was it, like three months ago?
Yeah, it was 3 months ago. It was March 18th.
Okay, so it's slightly more than 3 months.
Yeah, I guess it's closer to 4 months now.
3.5 months.
3.5 months, yeah. Yeah, and so they just, like I said before, they put me under, and I think I was in surgery for like 2 hours, and they just cleaned me out really, really good, and sewed me up. There was kind of, subdermal stitches and then stitches on the top.
Okay, I didn't realize you could. So they're stitching like your muscles together.
Yeah, they're stitching underneath and stuff. Yeah. And they didn't notice it at the time, but the peroneal tendons on my right ankle were just sliced, like someone took a knife to them, basically.
So talk me through where that is. Just
it's
for
like
people that aren't watching.
It's like kind of like the back side of the ball of your ankle.
So like the outside.
Yeah.
The outside back. Okay,
Yeah.
and then that runs down.
Yeah. And I think it comes down like kind of around the ankle ball.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure. But they didn't notice that at first. And honestly, after the attack, I was doing really well physically. Like, if you saw me walking down the street, you might not think anything. Like, I kind of had a gangster lean going on for a little while, but, after the initial recovery period, maybe like 2 weeks, I could walk, and then kind of by 3 weeks, I could walk pretty well. And, by the time I was about to have the surgery, like I could walk well. I couldn't run or anything, but I could walk fine. But I went to the surgeon to have a, post-op check sort of thing. And I had no strength in kind of moving my foot outward. I couldn't do it. Yes.
Like a rotation.
Yes.
Out.
Yeah. I couldn't do that at all. And then I told him how sometimes I would be walking and I'd be on an uneven surface and my foot would just like flop over.
Like roll your ankle.
Like rolling my ankle, basically.
Okay.
Like, if you had intact tendons, like it would be a rolled ankle. But there was no muscle resistance at all. It would just flop over and then flop back.
That sounds like uncomfortable, but also like could give you like, oh.
It was just kind of shocking. It was strange. So I told him that, and he was like, "Oh, that's not good. That's not a good sign."
Okay.
So I was able to get an MRI pretty quickly, and they did the thing, and the guy was like, "Look, like I'm not a doctor and I can't diagnose things, but like it looks pretty clear to me." And he kind of showed me on the screen, and you know how normally when you have imaging done, it's just like, what is this?
They don't tell you anything.
Or
they don't tell me anything.
Yeah, well, they don't tell you anything, but also when you look at it, you're just like, this looks like nothing.
Yeah,
you know?
It's a blob. It's
a blob. Yeah. But even I could see like, oh, that's the tendon, and it's just like completely sliced.
Oof.
It was just obvious. And so
so you're kind of already on your way to healing at that point, apart from this detail.
Apart from that one thing. Yeah. So
how many weeks
so that was a month.
That was a month after.
Yeah. And yeah, so then my surgeon was like, yeah, that's your peroneal tendons are sliced. We're going to have to fix those up. And then he was able to get me into surgery just a couple of days later. And yeah, and that actually was really not good for my emotional state, because at that point I was almost healed. And then I was going to have to go not even like back to where I began, but several steps further, like recovering from a severed tendon was a lot worse than what I initially thought my wounds were. So yeah, that was about 2 and a half months ago, I think, at this point. And
So it's just a slower thing to recover.
it's a much slower thing.
Because like tendons and...
Yeah, I was in a cast for a little while, like plaster cast style.
Huh.
And then I was in a boot for 6 weeks.
Like a moon boot thing.
Yeah, moon boot thing.
Yeah.
Or crutches, if I wasn't using the boot. Oh no, it's funny how like somewhat you forget so much. I was on one of those like ridiculous little scooters.
That you put your knee on.
Yeah, that you put your knee
like
on.
a little go-kart.
Yeah.
Fine.
So I was on that for I think a month.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I was just walking with the boot, and then.
So you weren't working at this point, were you? You weren't like pushing around the halls of.
No,
school?
I was. Yeah, I was working.
You were.
Yeah.
Okay.
I took off 3 weeks after the attack, and then, but they weren't even, as far as missing. I'm a teacher, a high school teacher.
Yeah.
I had basically like a week and a half of real teaching that I missed. And then we had our AE week, which is like our alternative education. I was supposed to do surfing and jujitsu with my friend Eric, which I ended up having to skip. And then we had, and then we had spring break. So I kind of missed 2 weeks. 2 of those 3 weeks were kind of like not crazy important. And then for the surgery, the surgery was on a Wednesday, and I missed Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I went back to work on Monday. So I was like scooting around the school and stuff. The school was actually like an easier place for me to be than home because everything's ADA there. So.
Oh, that means like accessible and
accessible. There's like little
disabilities.
ramps and things, and I had wide open spaces to ride my scooter around. Yeah, and the kids obviously got a kick out of the scooter. But yeah, so I was working. Yeah, and then after the boot, when I leave the house, still I wear just like a little ankle brace. And it's only been in kind of the last 2 weeks 2 weeks that like I feel good-ish moving around.
Like more stable.
More endurance, more confident. I still can't run or anything like that. I can't, like I said before, I haven't surfed. But I can walk around and I can bike a little bit now. And,
okay, cool.
That sort of stuff.
What kind of biking do you like to do?
I do a tiny bit of mountain biking.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
That's great.
I kind of, obviously I live in a great place for mountain biking.
Yeah.
I kind of put it off for a long time. I would do it here and there. Like I did AE week with Derek, where we just take kids mountain biking for the week.
Okay.
But once we moved into this house and we have the trails like right there.
Yeah. It's literally, you're less than 5 minutes away, right? Like,
yeah. Yeah. So at that point I had to buy a bike and I've been biking.
Yeah, that's great.
But I always put it off because I just seemed like a great way to get injured, and I just hate being injured.
Yeah, and spend a fortune on bikes.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I have all these surfboards I need to buy. I can't be buying mountain bikes.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I'm understood. I've been wanting to get a mountain bike for years, but I haven't been able to sell one of my other bikes first. I can't own more bikes. I'm not saying that. My wife is saying that.
Yeah.
But it is pretty amazing around here.
I know.
There's a ton of other amazing stuff to do in this wilderness area, right? Like, so when did you first come here? Because you came from Southern California. Mm-hmm. Okay. So how long ago was that? You said 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. Was that a big change? Okay, this is my last interruption to this fantastic conversation with James Eastman. Again, if you haven't followed or subscribed already, just give that button a little tap and it will mean that you can get more great conversations like this one. Also, make sure that you check out the Minutes Matter project. Go to the website, follow them on Instagram. It's going to make a big difference and it's going to save a lot of lives. So if you can help, get involved any way you can. I don't know whether that's going to be donating or I'm sure there's other ways that you can help, then every little bit is going to make a difference and save people's lives. Right, back to our conversation.
Yeah, it was
What brought you here?
I'm from Long Beach, and I went to school in LA, and I studied abroad in Paris. So most of my childhood was in cities.
Yeah.
But I'm not really a city person. I'm very much like country mouse sort of temperament.
Uh-huh.
And I just wanted to get out of the city and live in a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And I had been up here as a kid, and so I knew about it. And I just got extremely lucky with getting a job up here.
Okay.
And then that brought me up here.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what was that
transition like?
Because I remember living in Southern California and then coming up here, and it's like you have to relearn fun stuff to do in a way, slightly. It's just a different world.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's really funny. I tell this story a lot, but I wanted to move up here, when I got the job, but I had some hesitations.
Okay.
Just going from, when you live in a city, you're anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
But here you're not anonymous at all, especially if you're a teacher,
Yeah.
So that aspect of it made me nervous. And, I think I didn't say that out loud, but somehow the principal at the time intuited that. And she was like, I think you need to talk to Jim. And Jim was the teacher that I ended up eventually replacing at the school that I'm currently at.
Okay.
And he was just like a legendary dude. Classic hippie, like white beard, fearless, just did not care, would say anything, do anything kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly, his son was an Olympic runner and stuff, and he actually just lived up the road. But he calls me up and he's like, hey, I hear you have some trepidation about moving up into such a small little community. And he's like, I just want to tell you, you don't have to worry about it. He's like, if you party, that's great. If you drink, that's great. If you smoke weed, that's cool. He's like, just don't get a DUI. And then he's like, actually, totally fine if you get a DUI. Yeah, he's like, just don't sleep with a student. You'll be okay.
That's the rule.
Yeah, that's the rule. I was like, okay. But yeah, it's a transition. But honestly, the things I like doing, I just like being out in the woods. I like being in the ocean. I love surfing with one or two people.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't deal with the crowds in Southern California anymore. They were just too much.
Was it getting worse and worse?
It
was just always
I think it's gotten worse, and it's definitely gotten worse since COVID, I think.
Okay.
But I just much prefer surfing with a couple people that I know well, who are going to, respect the rules, and I'm going to be able to get a bunch of waves. And I don't know, I feel like the whole nature experience of surfing is more intact when it's like that as well, when it's not just a bunch of people.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Rather than it just being about posturing and rules and who's supposed to be doing what.
Right.
And
yeah.
getting worrying about human interaction.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And up here, it's just a more beautiful place to surf. It's you look in and it's stunning landscape, and it's much more rugged and open. It's much more of a wilderness experience surfing up here than it is down there.
Yeah. Do you ever get? Oh, go on.
Yeah. So it was a transition, and there were, I missed. I don't want to talk too much trash, but I miss the delicious Mexican food of Southern California. We have Mexican food here, but it's not as good as it is in LA. I'll tell you that. So that was tough for me. I will say that I think it has gotten a little better recently, but yeah. So there are little things I missed, but this sort of lifestyle suits me so much more than living in a city.
Yeah, you make certain sacrifices, don't you? It's funny, I talk about that with my wife a lot. It's like certain things like eating out or yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff, isn't there? But then also then you have access to all this incredible nature and interactions with the wilderness here. And
yeah, it's like I can sit on my deck and, just look at birds.
yeah,
And that's wonderful for
there's
me.
a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, and they're cool. I like that.
You said you were going to tell me about a mountain lion encounter, but we didn't talk about it yet, did we?
No, I can tell you about that. So
go on.
Yeah, there's a wave north of here on the Lost Coast that you have to backpack to.
Yeah.
And have you backpacked the Lost Coast?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know that you can only do certain stretches at low tide.
It's tidal, yeah.
Yeah. So I was gonna go with some people. Do you know Danny Aragwin?
I don't think so.
Okay. He mountain bikes a little bit, and he has a son, Eligio, who is a good surfer, who lives in the Bay. And I was going to go with them, but the timing worked out where I couldn't walk with them. I couldn't do the hike with them out there. So they went out the day before me, and the way the tides were at that time, I basically had to start my hike at sunset, basically.
Okay.
So, it got dark quickly, and I was all by myself, and it was extremely foggy that day. Like, so foggy that I couldn't use my lamp because...
Yeah, it's so bright.
Yeah, it's just shining right back in my eyes.
Yeah.
So, and it's like a 4 or 5 hour hike to the spot. And so I'm doing the whole thing in complete darkness, by myself, and just looking at the ground in front of me and walking,
crunching through the stones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I lost my glasses somewhere along the way, and
what, in that 5 hours?
Yeah, like it was kind of a disaster, and I was soaking wet, but for the most part it was fine. I didn't have any difficulties, and I was able to get to my destination, and I was okay, and it was kind of a cool experience just hiking that thing in the darkness. And then, I looked back down the beach or whatever, down the trail, and, there's 2 lamps also coming down, and they ended up being like 20 minutes behind me or something like that. And they were also surfers.
Okay.
And when they got to the campsite, we connected for a moment, and they were like, yeah, so when you were walking, like, were there any footprints or anything on the beach? And I was like, no, I think I was the first person after the tide, so
it was clean slate.
It was completely clean slate,
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, interesting. They were like, after one of the creek crossings, 2 sets of mountain lion tracks came down and walked in your footsteps for 2 miles.
Whoa.
And it must have been very close, because like the gap between myself and those 2 guys, it was only like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like distance. So there was, between the 2 of us, there was these 2 mountain lions just like, I mean, I don't know what they were doing, but like it, maybe stalking me, maybe just like watching and being curious. I don't know. But, when I heard that, I like got the chills,
for sure.
But I was also like I said earlier, like, kind of pissed that I didn't just randomly turn around and see him. Like, I probably would have been terrified, but I've never seen one, and I want to see one so bad. And it's kind of baffling to me that I haven't seen one, given how much time I spend in these sorts of places,
It'll happen.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
I kind of have a funny story about not seeing one also another time.
Okay.
So Derek,
Yeah.
It was COVID time, like it was 2021 or something like that, but it was when we were kind of like just allowed to do stuff again. And we always go up to the McLeod River to fly fish.
Okay.
Have you ever been up there?
No.
It's amazing.
Is
It's
it?
so beautiful. It's just such an epic river.
Whereabouts is that?
It's by Shasta, sorta.
Okay. Okay.
Kind of east of Shasta, in the mountains, and it's gorgeous. And um, because of COVID, and I actually had COVID at the time. I was like on day 5 or day 6 or something like that.
Yeah. But you weren't feeling too bad with it.
I was feeling okay, and Derek was fine with us still doing the trip, but we drove separately. And we stopped at this little gas station in McLeod. There's like a little town there to get like ice and things like that. And I had only been in there like once or twice before, so I let Derek go ahead of me
Yeah.
onto the dirt roads. And as he's kind of pulling out in front of me, I'm thinking like, there's going to be a mountain lion, and he's going to see it because he's in front of me, and his car is going to spook it, and I'm not going to be able to see it. And we're driving up on these dirt roads, and they're pretty rugged. And then all of a sudden, Derek like slams on his brakes, pushes his door open, and just looks back at me like huge eyes, like huge mouth. And of course, he saw a freaking mountain lion. Like, it just ran like right in front of his car. I was so mad. I was so mad. I knew it was going to happen too. I was like, got some sort of weird premonition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like if you have another feeling about
I know,
animals, you need to listen to that pretty quickly.
I know. I was so mad.
Man. Oh, how are we doing for time? How are you? Are you good?
I'm fine, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let me have a look. Two things I guess we didn't go back that much.
Okay.
And I'd love to talk a little bit, if that's all right with you,
Yeah.
about you saying you got tired of the crowds down in SoCal.
Mm-hmm.
But what was it like growing up there? I mean, you were surfing from a young age?
Yeah. I mean, I've been obsessed with surfing for as long as I can remember.
When was the first time you remember it like arriving on your radar?
I remember watching like Endless Summer 2 or something like that. And
That's a movie.
That's a movie. It's like a classic surf movie.
Okay.
There's Endless Summer and Endless Summer 2. And it's kind of, the romance of surf travel kind of thing, but also with some humor. And I don't know, I was probably young, like 6 or 7, 5 or 6, I don't know. And it just seemed like the coolest thing to me. And still, I think getting barreled is, like, it blows my mind that other people don't think it's the most amazing thing that can happen.
So wait, what is getting barreled?
Getting barreled is like when you're inside of the wave.
And it's curling all the way around
curling you. Like, it's like throwing over you, and you're inside of this like pocket of water, and traveling through it. That's just always, for me, that was just sort of mind blowing, that you could get into space like that, and like be surrounded by water.
Yeah.
But my parents wouldn't let me. I did like surf camps and things during the summers, so I'd get my a taste here and there. But my parents wouldn't let me surf on my own until I did junior lifeguards. And so I think I did junior lifeguards when I was like 11 or something like that. And then after that point, like I just surfed all the time in Orange County. Like, Long Beach is not Orange County. Long Beach is LA County, but Long Beach doesn't have good waves because they built a massive break wall.
Oh, they did.
For the port during World War II, I think, is when that happened. So it used to be a great surf spot, but now there's no waves there. So we'd surf anywhere between Seal Beach and Newport Beach. And I was just obsessed, and would surf as much as I possibly could. And, I had my friends surfed as well. And then, in high school, I was on, like, our high school had a surf team, and I was on the high school surf team. And we would just compete against other high schools in the area.
Which I can imagine is probably hot competition given the area that you're in.
Yeah, and my school was not a good school. Like our team kind of sucked in comparison to like we competed against Huntington High.
Okay.
And
Were they the top dogs?
they were the top dogs. Like when I was a student in high school, Huntington High had Brett Simpson, and Brett Simpson went on to compete on the championship tour, which is like the highest possible level that you can be as a surfer.
Is that traveling all around the world?
Traveling all over the world, like competing for a world title and that sort of stuff. So yeah, that was like they're a whole other level to us. We did, though, in my high school, we did win the California Inland Division one year for the state, which was cool.
So, but wait, sorry. Inland surfing doesn't sound like it's going to involve much water.
I know, it was basically a way to separate like the good teams from the bad teams.
Okay.
Like the teams like Huntington High or San Clemente or Newport Harbor or something, like the schools that are right next to
the ocean,
well-known surf spots. Yeah. So
okay.
like our school was, 20 to 30 minutes from a surf spot. So I guess that made it inland.
Okay. Now I understand.
Yeah. So we weren't great. We weren't that good, but we were competent, and it was fun to just, get to surf for a high school sport. We'd be at the beach either at 6 or 6:30, depending on if it was like a regular day or a competition day. Yeah, it was fun. It was great. And every summer our surf coach would take us to Costa Rica if we wanted to. Like it wasn't like
you didn't have to go.
No, if like we were willing to pay to go, basically.
Yeah.
So we'd get a little surf travel in and stuff like that.
Was it very different?
Yeah. The surf is better in Costa Rica. It's funny because in our minds at the time, like Costa Rica was this amazing surf destination, and Costa Rica does have good waves. Like Pavones is a really well-known left, one of the longest lefts in the world. But there are much better surf destinations in Costa Rica. Like Mexico is a much better destination, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
But there are good waves there, and we had a blast going down there, and high school shenanigans and that sort of stuff. It was fun.
What were the shenanigans? Did you get into trouble?
I didn't. I was a goodie-goody.
You were a goodie-goody?
Yeah, but all my friends weren't. I don't know. Just like, one funny thing, our surf teacher, he was great, and I love him, and I don't want to disparage him, but he was a little bit spacey at times. And one time we showed up to LAX to go down there, and he had left all of the plane tickets at his house in Huntington Beach, which is like an hour and a half away or something like that.
Yeah.
So another parent like frantically went down there, got the tickets, and somehow we were able to still get on the plane and make it. But then when we got to, and that year we were going with another high school, Millikan High School. And, boys will be boys. We had these hats, and we put like little notes and duct tape on them. And
what, like sun hats or
yeah,
like straw hats or what?
No, just like a baseball hat.
Okay.
And I can't even remember what we were writing, but we were like writing like anti-Millikan stuff on them, which was like not a big deal. But Marion, our surf coach, found out, and he got pissed, like so mad. But he didn't know at the time that we had also taken his hat and put a duct tape on it and written like "what tickets?" ? And given it back to him, and he was like pissed at us and like wearing this hat that said "what tickets?" and he had no idea. And after he was done yelling at us, we were like, "Oh my god, we got to get this hat back! Like he cannot know about this hat." So we like I can't even remember how, but we were like, "Hey, Marion, like, do you mind if we see your hat for a moment?" And he was like, yeah, sure, okay. And so we took it and like ripped the duct tape off and gave it back to him, and he had no idea. So it was like that level of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there was other stuff going on too. But I was
that you didn't know about.
I'm just gonna be ignorant. I'll plead innocence.
Yeah. Nice. I think, man. We've been chatting for quite a while.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Thank you, dude. I think we should maybe wrap it up this time. I'd love to get you on again at some point and chat more. But thanks for sharing your story. I'm glad that you're doing good.
Yeah.
And speedy recovery, man. Is there any, I mean, you seem like a pretty private person in terms of social and all that kind of stuff, but is there anywhere, I was wondering, is there anything you want to say to people?
Yeah.
Or is there any way you want to send people?
There's actually something that's important that I almost like completely forgot.
Yeah.
So after the attack, my wife, you know, she's a emergency room nurse and everything. And she just got passionate about trying to help this problem, like prevent bad things like this from becoming truly terrible. So she has created this nonprofit called the Minutes Matter Project.
Okay.
It's kind of in the early days of getting started, but basically what it is she's working with state parks to put these little emergency boxes together to prevent hemorrhage, basically, to prevent people from bleeding out, because right, like if you get attacked by a shark or some other really bad thing happens at one of these remote beaches, especially like Blues or something like that, like you need to have tourniquets and other things like that available immediately, like
bleed stop or whatever that powder stuff is as well, or maybe tourniquets are the more
tourniquets
extreme.
More so she's working with state parks to put these little boxes together that will be all up and down Mendocino coast, and who knows, maybe it will grow from there. But
does it have a name, did you say?
Yeah, the Minutes Matter Project.
Minutes Matter Project.
Yeah. And
is there a place where people can go to find
I think she just created an Instagram. I think it's the Minutes Matter Project.
Okay. I'll put a link in the show notes for people if they want to check it out.
I just want to make sure I'm saying everything I'm supposed to say about that, because otherwise she'd be pissed. But yeah, the idea is just basically you have everything you need there in case like something bad happens. You can just run to the box and go grab the things and help your friend out. And because really, like, it's all about the arteries. Like if one of those gets hit, like it just could be over within minutes, you know. So you need to have those things there as soon as possible.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
In these remote areas.
Yeah, and she's been working really hard at it, and State Parks is on board. And I think the other thing is she's also gonna, I think, teach some classes about preventing blood loss and like how to actually like use a tourniquet and pack wounds and that sort of stuff. So for me personally, like I don't really do social media or Instagram or anything like that, but I do think there is an Instagram now, and I think she's working on a website. So yeah, people should check that out.
Yeah, watch this space. I'll update the show notes with things as they happen. Just send me a message, and I'll make sure that.
And I guess Australia has something like this, and just recently it like saved some woman's life. She got attacked by a shark, and there was one of these boxes near, and they went and got it, and she definitely would have died if they didn't have that stuff. So it's important.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's one more thing I was going to ask you about, and we can cut this out if it's not something that you're
it's fine,
or if you were interested in talking about. But I know that there was a GoFundMe.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I know that necessarily wasn't something that you set up or whatever that was, but I know that a lot of people wanted to help you.
Yeah. We don't need any more money. If people want to donate money, they can donate money maybe eventually to the Minutes Matter thing, because that will need money. And we're actually, I guess I'm glad you asked. We are going to use money from the GoFundMe in order to kind of like buy the materials and stuff for these boxes. Like that's kind of like the initial investment or whatever, the fundraising that we're using for this project, because we didn't end up needing all the money that we got.
There was a big outpouring from the community, right? Yeah,
and the whole thing, like I'm extremely grateful, but like you said, like I didn't set it up, you know, and when they were setting it up, it was kind of two different people set them up for us. Kind of made me uncomfortable. I was like, I'm not sure we need this. But
I can understand. I mean, it seems like in your nature, it's a kind of, yeah, I could see why it might be an uncomfortable thing, but also, I mean, coming from England, outside perspective, in a world that we live in here, where medical care certainly isn't free.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Even with insurance.
Right.
Because I don't know if people even understand that. Really, people who are listening who aren't in America, it's like you're paying for insurance, but things are going to cost you money still.
Yeah. No. And people talked me into it basically. Like they're like, it's okay, I promise. And that was kind of always the thinking that we had, like whatever surplus we have, we can just eat. We didn't have the minutes matter thing on our mind yet, but we were like, we can give it to shark research or some other thing if we don't need all of it. That was kind of always in the back of our mind. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're just, whatever money we have from the GoFundMe that's left over, we're just going to use to fund this project.
Couldn't think of a better thing to put it to.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you can help other people who might experience something similar to what you have.
Yeah, it feels good. It's like we received so much love from the community after the shark attack, and it feels good to give some back, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, James, good luck with everything.
Thank you.
And good luck with the fly fishing in a week.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's going to be a good adventure.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Well, let me shake your hand.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great work, dude.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, good. Yeah. I was nervous.
No, I mean, everyone always is. You know?
Well, you have people from like Alone, you have Klein Pete, you know.
People are just people, eh? Yeah. Okay, that is another episode done and dusted. Thank you, James, for sharing your time and your incredible story, and for just being so brutally honest about the whole experience and then the after effects and everything like that. I send my best wishes, man. I really hope that everything is going well. And a huge thank you to Chloe as well for starting the Minutes Matter project. I know it's going to make a huge difference. Again, everyone, if you can, get over to the website and follow them on Instagram and support them in whatever way you can. It will make a huge difference to people who enjoy being outdoors just like you and me. Also, while I'm at it, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who is listening along to these episodes. It is fantastic that you are here on the journey. Thank you. If you could make sure that you are following and subscribed. Also, 5-star reviews go a long way. The algorithmic gods really treat us kindly and make sure that the stories like this one with James get out to more and more people. Right. I got to get out, and I think I have some more adventures to chase. Oh, to be honest, I have some admin. I've got to process some meat, some mushrooms, some fish. I got all that hard work to do now. So I'm going to get on with that stuff. I hope that everyone is in a similar boat with adventures in the future and food in the fridge and freezer from the wild. But that's enough from me for now. Thanks everyone for listening, and until next time.
Welcome to the Wild Dispatch.